Here we go, 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 go! Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today, we're doing it live. I've got the Bitcoin price chart pulled up here in front of us. We'll take a peek at this. We'll peek over there throughout the altcoin market. I'm sure you guys will have questions. We'll dive into all that stuff that you guys have. Holy cow, look at the chat. You guys are it's absolutely insane and amazing. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Man, what a busy week we have had in crypto, or not even in crypto, really just for my channel. For me personally, as you guys know, I've been on a couple of different live streams doing on-camera stuff, which isn't typical of what I normally do, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been exciting. You guys have been absolutely incredibly supportive through all of that, and I really, really appreciate it. And I was getting ready to do a video today. I was doing my normal stuff that I always do to get prepared for a video, and I was thinking to myself, man, it's gonna be a lot of the same stuff again, same stuff again. And I was like, dude, we haven't done one of these on my channel in a long time. Here, let me turn that audio down for you guys real quick. Whoop, there we go. We haven't done one of these on the channel in a long time, so hang out with you guys and have a good time. So the first thing we'll do, I know a lot of this does have rewatch, so we'll dive into a little bit of content here in the beginning. And boy, I appreciate the super chats coming in. It's very kind of you guys. I'll get to them, and we'll see how far behind I get, like I always do. I get ridiculously behind on these things, but I like to give a little content for the rewatch as well, and for the people who pour into. Bitcoin's price, pretty much flat today. Whether or not that has more to do with stock market or what it does, one of the things we've been following obviously has been this fractal for the last, we've been following it for a couple of months, but it's been going on now for 5 months. And you could see that most recently the price of Bitcoin has popped a little bit higher than what it's been doing over here during this whole time. So is this thing changing? Is it deviating? Predicting short-term price actions super hard. I don't like to do it because of confidence levels on it. So, but the things that we can look to in here, right? So my thoughts are that we'll eventually break away from this thing, and I'm not convinced that we have completely broken away from it just yet. But like, let's just kind of shift over and understand what did happen during this phase, right? So eventually it did break out trend line, and you guys know I don't use trend lines very often on this channel. They're not my favorite because they will get violated all the time. But you do see, right? You see a trend line back test that ended up happening after it just kind of waddled its way over here, then fired its way back down to trend line back test. But let's move it back to where it is currently to see right here, right now, right? So I'll just shift that up there for now. And what would you say is going on here, right? So there's been no real back test of the area. If you assume that it is going to come back and back test, which I do assume, all scenarios that I see say that it pulls back down at some point, whether or not it's going to start an ABC correction like we talked about in the video posted on Wednesday, where it dips all the way to the lows, maybe even just a slight dip. But even in this right in here, it still gets us back down in here. So that's kind of where my thought process is right now when it comes to Bitcoin. And I was like, man, am I really going to make a video about that and talk about that the whole video when we just did that on Wednesday? But, so I think, it's just going to be patience right now, but things are optimistic, right? We were like, hey, once we get down here, once this is happening, I'll turn on all my bull horns. I'll become mega bull on all of this and, be all good, right? And well, you know what? Prices pop from there. So these are all positive things. Markets don't move in straight lines. They do go up, they do go down. But when we look at, what has been happening here on the bigger structure of all of it, it's optimistic. We just probably, I would guess there's a pullback at some point in here. And if it doesn't, if it starts, I would think like realistically, if it starts moving up quite a bit, then we'll have to. I might have to start scratching this thing at that point. We'll have to really kind of say, all right, what are we doing? Are we actually moving into an ABC correction in here? In which, if you don't know, for 2018, when the ABC correction came in, the way it worked is it just moved straight up here to a 618 Fibonacci retracement, zoomed itself all the way back down, like literally that's like going all the way back to 55,000, then pulling all the way back down to 37,000 again, and then it worked its way up in here. So until we get a little bit more direction on what's happening right here, right now, I'm just in a waiting game. Are we pulling back now? Are we starting in ABC? Hopefully we'll get more information on that pretty soon. Heading over to, this is the one that's got my biggest attention. Obviously I made a big video on this. Time is a blur. Time is a blur right now. It was on Monday. It was on Monday, where we had, we were talking about this, and we're talking about, we did all the wave counts on what an ABC correction would look like after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that we saw within here, we've got 5 waves, 2 sets of 5 waves with an ABC. So we have a 535 correction happening in here, and this 535 correction pulled back to a 702 Fibonacci retracement for the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So that's been the whole focus, right, for my channel has been that, look, Bitcoin and Ethereum have both hit the 4.236 extensions on their market caps. The big focus for me is going to be what's happening with the remainder of the altcoin market, and do we see positive signs emerging here in the remaining of the altcoin market as a whole? And yes, we do. I know people ask all the time about individual altcoins, but if we look at what has happened to the market since early 2021, 90% of altcoins are all in the same sad boat right now. And what we've noticed is when alt seasons happen, all boats rise together. So we're trying to see what is the whole boat doing, and then we can start getting more optimistic about individual altcoins. So if you missed the video earlier this week, which I don't think most of you did, that one had pretty good viewership in there. Things are looking good in here. Just pullbacks happen. So, but I'm real, like, for me, and it's hard to put numbers on it, right? I feel really good about that. Really, really good about that. And with the wave counts, we counted zigzags. We also counted that. Get that off log scale. Waves of equal length, right? So we noticed that also wave A is of equal length of wave C. So these things are looking good. It's just that right now we're kind of like, if you guys remember when we pulled back down in here, it was kind of like being like, I'm thinking we're in no man's land right now. It's hard to say a whole lot in here. When Bitcoin had this big fall, this is when, like the official, I said, we're in a bear market for Bitcoin. But as we were hanging out in here, it was kind of like in no man's land. I feel that same feeling as we're in here, that it's real difficult to, on a small time frame, pick if this is going to go up a little bit higher or a little bit lower. But my grander perspective is there's got to be a pullback in there. There's got to be one. I would think so. All right, I've got to catch up with these super chats. I saw some monsters come through there. My gosh. Okay. And thank you guys so much. I don't intend to ignore you. I'm just trying to go through the charts. But thank you guys all so much for your support. Courtney 203, hey man, I need to grab you. If you could type in the chat, hopefully I can catch you quick and I can grab you. Courtney 203, everyone like and sub, follow my boy. Knock this out the park, XRP all the way. Yeah. I never remember to do that, guys. Can you hit the like button? I would appreciate that a lot. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, well, subscribe, please. But thank you, Courtney. Gas Tax, Super Chat. Hey, thank you, Gas Tax. Hey, do you have a gold and silver channel? I recall you saying something about that before. I used to do coin roll hunting a lot. Then all my banks stopped giving me any coins, so I haven't been updating that thing in almost a year. And it's not something I would have willingly given up on. I was just forced to. And yeah, it's Wrapper Stacker, but I haven't uploaded to it in a long time. But thank you very much. Romo Fru Super Chat. Hey man, thank you for everything. Glad to see another live stream. Thank you very much. Michael McSaucy with the Super Chat. Thank you very much. Crypto Man X talk about EOS. I get that all the time. EOS, it's one of those ones that's sad and pathetic, right? It's a waiting game. What's going to happen? None of my targets change for any of the coins that I do own. All of them remain exactly the same. The thing that will change that is if Bitcoin goes into a 702 Fibonacci retracement like we saw back in 2018. We see the whole altcoin market rising, and for some reason those aren't. That would then change that for me. But otherwise, right now, so long as the condition isn't there that the whole market isn't rising, nothing really to say about individual coins because the whole market is acting the same. But thank you very much. And then Omar Al Salek super chatted. Thank you, just a thank you. Thank you very much. And then Adam Waddell. Oh gosh, man, that's insane, Adam. My goodness, man. I don't know if you guys saw that thing come through. That is unbelievable, man. I don't think that's ever happened here before. Thank you, Adam. Man, God bless you, BCB, from all of us. Thanks for all that you do. My gosh, thank you, Adam. My goodness. Um, Baller 91, appreciate you, BCB. Lee Woost, Chris Chambers, super chatted. Can you review Ethereum Classic? It keeps leading the day. Are we getting a breakout? Right. So Ethereum Classic looks like it's capitulated to me. And I know not every, and I can't talk about every coin, guys. But Ethereum Classic's been like, so like we talk about this a lot, right? Like, somebody just asked about EOS, right? And but when I did my rotations, it was like 6 different coins that I got into, right? And it was just like what the numbers of the market have been. Like 1 out of 6 of them went skyrocketing, right? And it was the one that nobody was like, blockchain backer, what are you thinking, man? Why are you doing Ethereum Classic? That's kind of the dumb one. Like they keep saying, right? The most entertaining outcomes, the most likely one. What do you know? It was Ethereum Classic that was the one that ended up blasting from way down here from $5 to getting real close to 200, right? And so, this structure, it's funny because I have another chart right over here. I've got SiaCoin. And just, any of these things that we pull up, I'm not advising or suggesting you out and buy any of these things. I'm just using these as references to look back to the past and say, hey, are there similarities in here? So Ethereum Classic, I'm just debating whether or not I want to go down this rabbit hole right now or not because I'm already so far behind. I'm optimistic for it. So, when you go back and you look through the history of crypto, and for most people, it's very difficult to go through this type of volatility. It can be very rough, and there's no question it's not rough. It's rough for me, and there's nothing fun about watching an asset. I mean, the thing is, we watch assets go up 7,000%, and then we watch them fall 85%. And most people get drawn into the market whenever they're hearing about these people making all this money on Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Elon Coin, everything. They come piling in, and they don't get in when things are really sad and depressing on things like SiaCoin. But negative 86%, and then what does it do? It goes on and does 12,000%. But in this phase, right, of SiaCoin in here, it was very similar to what we're seeing happening right now in a lot of aspects of the market, right? So this was a big old fall. This was an 87% loss over here on SiaCoin. And this is early to mid 2017. Bitcoin continued riding up much higher in here. So Bitcoin is still cranking away, but the whole altcoin market was doing the same thing that it's doing now, where all the boats rise together or all the boats sink together. At least the vast majority of them do. And we saw SiaCoin do this, which was the exact story of really the majority of the market at that time. But from a structural perspective, it's very similar to what has happened over here on Ethereum Classic, and it's hard to be optimistic about it right now when something like that has fallen like that. That's a nice pop off of there, and I do actually think Ethereum Classic will revisit the lows again a second time. But from a structural setup of what we've seen, how the altcoin market behaves in here, it looks like what we've seen. It looks like what happens during these big, massive corrections of 87%. and then before the cycle resets and continues going up. And so I'm an optimist in believing that there is going to be an alt season, right? So I go into it thinking, man, this is, I want to throw money. I want to throw money into this market, right? But everybody, do your own research, make your own decisions. This thing is highly volatile. Um, but I'll say it, I'm a believer in another leg up in Ethereum Classic, and I know that's crazy. Hard to understand why, but I do. I'm in a camp that Ethereum Classic still has another leg up, and we'll see. But I like what we're seeing so far. I gotta move on. That was way too long, and I can't review everybody's tokens, so please don't donate just to get tokens done. But Ethereum Classic was one of my big ones. Ethereum Classic was unique in the aspect that, like we talked about, 90% of coins did not take off throughout 2021. But it was like 10% that did, and of the six that I rotated into, this was my 10%, right? It's my 1 out of 6 that went on a big skyrocket. But okay, let's get back on a different screen. All right, I gotta catch up. uh, Paul Weinberg with the super chat. Thank you very much. Jose Reyes, BCB the GOAT. Thank you, Jose. Patrick Z. Hi, what do you think about IOTA this cycle? Is there gonna be one? Right. So like that's a really good example. If you don't of coins of one of the 90% that are still struggling, IOTA is a big head scratcher too. You would think IOTA would be much higher than what it is right now. If you follow that and go and you look at them on Twitter, how active that is, and how many people are in that community. Um, yeah, and I do own some IOTA. Not suggesting anybody do it. Do your own research. But I'm an IOTA. I'm optimistic for it. I'm optimistic for the majority of the cryptocurrency market. You got to be careful, right? There's going to be your rug pulls and your scams and all that kind of crud out there. But for things that seem legit to me, I'm optimistic. Kazillionaire super chat. I've been riding with you for a year now. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Kazillionaire. L Train with super chat. Thank you. Craig Lilly with super chat. BCB. Is it on your mind that alts haven't detached from Bitcoin bet yet? Is 2017 this obviously happening? Okay, hold on. BCB. Is it on your mind that alts haven't detached from Bitcoin yet? In 2017, this obviously happened during the Bitcoin crash fist bump. Is it on your mind that alts haven't detached? It's not on my mind or worry yet. Nope. If that's the question, if about them detaching, I've kind of gone through this a lot, right? So like the thing is, if Bitcoin gets back up, and this will be a tricky too, right? So like if this happens and the alts haven't happened, then there's this big guessing game happening in here of we know in 2017, 2018, Bitcoin headed straight up into here. And then as Bitcoin was heading back, altcoins were taking off big time into this pullback. And then altcoins went all the way up and continued going up until this moment in time. And then the altcoins were done. So if we get something similar to that, then there becomes this big question of, are we still continuing this thing? And what's going to happen with the altcoins if we are continuing this thing and altcoins haven't taken off? But we're not there yet. We'll have to address that when it comes and wait for situations to play out. But if I'm worried about it now, no, there's no conditions about it right now that have me worried about altcoins not detaching from Bitcoin just yet. The final mark of the markets, what we've seen is the ending phase is this detachment, but it's only temporary, right? The detachment is the alt season, then boom, they get reattached again and everything goes into a bear together. So we'll see. Bashir El Somali, I hope I didn't ruin that. Thank you very much. Deserve to be known, the legend you true are. Will you have an update on your exit plan? What about plans during the bear market? Yep, there will be updates. Anything I make that's changed to my portfolio, I make updates on it on the exit plan. What about plans during the bear market? I haven't decided what I'm going to do during the bear market yet. I have not decided. Blue Shakespeare, what with super chat? Thank you. What signs let you know Bitcoin hit all-time high 4.236 instead of the extended fib chart like 2013 and 2017. Well, Bitcoin, this structure right here is the classic 4.236 extension stuff. When you have a crash, retrace, reaccumulation in here with a retracement back into these levels and a revisit of the lows, this is classic 4.236 extension stuff. And then, of course, as we've talked about, um, this chart is TradingView, or this chart is Coinbase. But like we've talked about this, everybody's kind of hoping for crazy, insane stuff. But we know that Bitcoin has been following along so closely with this for so long. So this was why I was not so convinced that there was going to be a whole lot more to go than where we were at. But truth be told, I would rather be wrong on all that. My exit plans always stick with that. I still hold on to 35% of my stuff, so that 35% could ride down to zero, and that would stink. That wouldn't be fun, or at least ride into a 10-year accumulation period. That wouldn't be fun. I would absolutely cheer for prices to skyrocket to the upside because I'll benefit from it. So it's not something I'm rooting for things to go down. I want things to go up, even if I've sold, because my exit plans and exit strategies do not revolve around 100% exits. They're, 65%. So I still hold 35, and I'm all about that 35 going much higher. But all right. Summit Comedies. I know you don't predict time, but this fractal keeps showing. If we follow it before, it shows AltSeason by March or April. Am I looking that correctly? Yeah, well, that's correct. So I can't predict with any type of certainty that it is going to follow this. I can't. But if it does, then that's what you see. I see it there too, right? Mid-March is what that says. If that were to continue. So we'll see. But thank you. CD XRP. Oh, thank you, CD. Man, your content has kept my nerves under control for at least 2 years. Keep up the great work you're doing for the community, BCB. Man, thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you, CD. Howard with the super chat. Thank you so much, Howard. Fifi Coins is super chat. Josh Whitchurch. Thanks for all the great content, BCB. You've carried us through the highs and the lows of this market. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Neil, UK tuning in. Thanks for all you do, BCB. Thanks. Hey, man, if you guys haven't noticed over there on Twitter, man, I'm dealing with like a shadow ban or something like that. It's driving me crazy. The reason I say that is because people from UK are always like, I don't see it. So it all looks good. But like people in America, they're like, hey, man, I can't see your stuff. Uh, Pretty frustrating. Different topic. We'll talk about that later. Thank you very much, Neil. David Darvishian. I'm going to try to pronounce this correct. Darvishian. I hope I got that right. Thank you, David, man. I see you all the time. I really appreciate it, man. You are the GOAT. Thank you, brother. Thank you, David. It's very kind. Crypto Golfer. Super chat, thanks for having an infinite supply of resolve. I know it takes conscious daily effort, and for that, we're all grateful. Going up, woo, rocket. Yeah, there's preparation before I get on and start the videos every day, coming out, confident and strong and everything like that. And it's something you may not know and you don't know about, and nobody knows about this channel, is that I actually, like, I would say, like, 80% of the time there are multiple recordings of the hey. The first time doesn't probably come through perfect. Maybe like hey, that didn't go well. And then do it all over again. But all right, thank you, Crypto Golfer. Mary Ridulus, the super chat. Thank you for all you do, but you never speak about XLMTA, not even in your course. Right. Well, I just don't own a ton of XLM. I do own some. I just don't own a ton of it, but it's doing exactly what the rest of the market is doing. It's another one of those 90%ers that's just been pummeled by the market as well, right? And I think it's waiting for exactly what the rest of the market is doing. It's waiting for the whole market to move up together. And that's why, and I know in the midst of it, it's like, hey, why can't we just talk about individual coins and stuff? Because the reality of it is this matters. This matters a tremendous amount for the all boats to rise together. And so that's what we're keeping an eye on, is looking for the conditions for all the boats to rise up together. I've got nothing against XLM. I probably should own more of it. I probably should, but it's just not how my portfolio is balanced. But, I got nothing against it. And I can tell if that thing takes off and goes, I'm going to be sitting there saying, man, what? I knew it the whole time. I knew it the whole time. I should have had more of it, but I don't. So, it's just not something that is um, and the main real reason that we just don't talk about it is because it is literally the same thing. It's just like the rest of the market, and all of this is what I believe truly matters for XLM and matters for the majority of the cryptocurrency assets, is what's happening with the total altcoin market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum, and the Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance. Those things have to break. I think those are both very important things. But thank you, Mary. Reflected Digital Super Chat. Keep the grind, brother. Keep it up. You've impacted many lives. Thank you so much. Tom, XRP, and BCB to the moon. Let's send XRP to the moon, man. Storm MC with the Super Chat. BCB the GOAT. Thank you. PL with Super Chat, thank you. Can you please give the Bitcoin XRP chart a look? Looks good. Yeah, I did that recently. No, I think so too. I mean, the move that it's done in the last couple of days, nice little pop that's happened in there. We can pull it up. I'm sure a lot of people are interested in this one. So, and I haven't looked at this in a couple of weeks, but I did a video recently on what these things have looked like. I think we looked structurally at Verge, right? XVG, and showing what these things all look like before they explode, right? And that it's not just XRP that looks like this, which looks very similar to what those explosions looked like, and that we're in the final stage of that moment. So this is cool and all, this little pump, but I'm not looking for that, right? I'm looking for, look where we are. We're in the lower end. Let's get our booties up here, right? And then once we get up here, then it's kind of like, all right, then I do the things that I always do, right? Warning, warning, warning. And that's what everybody's like, no, blockchain backer, you're wrong. But we're not there, right? That's cool though. It's cool though to see that happening right there. But my broader perspective is a video I put out a couple weeks ago. I should probably retweet it or something, so I can't really remember, because I don't spend too much time looking at these XR or at these altcoin Bitcoin pairings, but the whole market looks similar, including Litecoin, tons of them, from what has happened when explosions do occur. And just off the top of my memory of what it was like, right? I think the big moments were there's three little back tests up in here, and then as you come down in here, this is like the final phase, based on how we've seen the altcoin and Bitcoin pairings work before something does happen with them. So it still looks good to me. There we go. Tony Lou or Low with the super chat. Do you think the housing market will crash if we go into a recession? So one thing that's on my, if you guys aren't paying attention, is that the 30-year mortgage interest rates have gone up a lot in the last month. It's now gone from like 2.9% to like 4.1% for a 30-year mortgage. And it doesn't matter what your credit score is. You can have an 800 plus credit score, whether it's 200,000 loan, 500,000, whatever you're going to get. The mortgage rates are now at 4%. I think that may have more of an impact on housing prices, depending on how high that goes. Or if people are fearful that the interest rates are going to continue skyrocketing, maybe it creates temporary FOMO in the market. I'm not a housing market expert at all. But historically, I mean, if the stock market crashes, what does that eventually lead to? That eventually leads to, I was watching something on it. We're in such a huge bubble in the stock market that a lot of these companies that aren't profitable are able to remain afloat by being able to sell their shares, right? So they've got these huge, crazy stock prices that they can sell, and that's keeping their companies going just fine, like everything's okay. But the moment that the stock prices fall, then reality sets in and that these companies won't be able to continue just dumping stock on the market to keep the company alive. Then they've got to start doing things that real companies do, and they've got to start cutting costs, cutting spending. And what does that eventually lead to? Cutting jobs, cutting employment. And if you cut employment and you make people unemployed, then they can't pay their mortgages, right? Or people are no longer interested in buying houses. So I think it's, the housing market is tied to a whole lot more than just, simple little things. It's the cascading effect of what happens when a stock market crash occurs. So I think it's, hard to predict, but it's a lot of variables. But if you kind of go through it in your mind, you can kind of see how all that works. Hope I explained that okay. Patrick Z with the super chat. Feel bad only donating. Oh, man. So now I feel a bit better. Oh, man, Patrick. Don't worry about it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Daniel with the super chat. Brother, do you remember what was the narrative in 2017 just before altcoin mania started? I mean, news and people expectations in general. Love you, man. For XRP, when XRP took off, it was the Ripple announcing the escrow, locking up coins. It was exactly at that time. And so we've seen news narratives come out for XRP at just the right time. So I keep that in the back of my head too. As for narratives in 2017, just before altcoin mania started, it was more so just the market was already crazy. And because it was like now, like what did we had over the course of last month? You have had a few assets running up, right? You've had Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, right? You've had some stuff running up. And so it was just like that in 2018. You had Litecoin. Litecoin actually surged and took off before Bitcoin did. Litecoin actually topped before Bitcoin did. And like most people in this market don't even know what Litecoin is. That's a crazy to me. On Coinbase, they used to only have three assets, three and three alone: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. That's all you could get for the majority of 2017. And then when the hard fork of Bitcoin Cash occurred, I believe in August, they maybe by September they had Bitcoin Cash on there as well. So Litecoin, nobody's talking about it, but that's a head scratcher to me. I did see it on Fox Business News the other day, though. They still show it all the time because they remember, like, hey, what about this thing? But as for a narrative, it just became FOMO hype, FOMO craziness. That was really it. I don't really recall. And then the Bitcoin futures were coming, which did kill off Bitcoin that time. The timing of that was timed perfectly. But as we've shown, Bitcoin topped where it was supposed to top. They just timed the futures to start right then too. All right, there we go. Thanks, Daniel. Ryan Chase super chatted. Hey, BC Backer, I've been watching your channel ever since you started it. I just want to personally say you've helped change my life through crypto education. God bless you, man. Thank you so much, Ryan. That's all I'm trying to do. Show the charts and explain it in easy to understand ways, right? So hopefully you guys pick up a lot of these skills and just see the things the way that I see them. I don't try to make it too complicated because it's not that complicated. We add so many indicators to all this stuff to say that we have this magical secret formula that tells us what it is and what it's going to do. And it's really a lot of the basic stuff. It really is just a lot of the basic stuff. And the hardest part is to remove our biases. It's mostly in us. We create all these indicators and all these things because we want the narrative to match what our bias is. But if we just kind of stick to simplicity and simple stuff, that tends to work out pretty good. Thank you. Pitbull, have you seen brother, did you see the latest XRP video from Eliseo Rastani, the bearish case with big ABC? This is exactly what I've been trying to tell you a year. I have not. I do not watch that channel. But somebody even texted me earlier that he's like predicting to the moon. So I think somebody sent it to me a week ago. So is he putting out both? Right? Is he putting out to the moon and then to zero? Because, that's a TA trick. But I don't know. No, I haven't seen it. I don't watch his channel. I think I saw it maybe like in 2017, 2018, but I haven't followed anything from him in a long time. Not to say he doesn't have good content. I have no clue. Like I said, I haven't seen him in 4 years. Crypto X Cyclops. BCB, you're the man. Is Proton something you've talked about in the past? Any thoughts on the chart? XPR, not XRP. No, I haven't. Whenever something tries to, it's first of all, XRP community gets targeted by more altcoins than any other community out there. I mean, there are a ridiculous amount of altcoins that are shilled just within the XRP community. And the fact that you got a coin being shilled within the XRP community and all there is two letters swapped in the name, it just made me immediately think, here we go, same stuff again. But no, I have no clue. I have no clue if it's good or bad. Haven't followed it. It just immediately turned me off when I saw the acronym for it. That's it, man. Honesty. All right, crypto macro investor at the super chat. Thanks for all you do. What would you recommend we can do in DYOR to become better at TA? Also, where do you see this channel post alt season? Yeah, so I don't know where the channel's going to go post alt season. I'm not going to sit here and just chart bear market for years, right? That's definitely not something I'm interested in doing. But maybe more of just like having like kind of a podcast kind of channel and discussions and stuff. And of course, we always talk about charts and stuff in that, but I think it'd be fun to have guests and podcasts and deep dives and just more broadly expand what is done on here to not be let's stare at a bear market for a couple of years, but like where's finance going? Where's all of this going? Because in bear markets, things get washed out. Things that we think are hype right now, things that we think are a big deal right now, end up not being. And a lot of stuff happens in speculative bubbles, things that don't deserve to be. And those get washed out, and we get kind of a reset picture of what the cryptocurrency landscape really looks like. So we'll see. What do you recommend in do your own research to become better at TA? Playing around with it a lot. If you understand the basics, which I try to teach you guys here on this channel, all the things that I typically do, and then playing around with them, using the tools, using the Fibonacci's on different areas, see, hey, and a lot of times in charts, right? So you have to live and breathe within a particular chart. I spend a lot of time in Bitcoin. I spend a lot of time in XRP. But sometimes I'll get asked about random coins I haven't stared at all, and I don't live and breathe in that chart to know which Fibonacci's that chart responds to the most. So, spending a lot of time in a very particular chart to recognize, hey, this one doesn't really respond to the 702 Fibonacci retracement very often. This one responds to the 618 Fibonacci retracement way more often. And, understanding the chart that you're living in a little bit better. And a lot of it is just practice, understanding basic tools. And, I wish I have put together something for Elliott waves. I haven't put it together, but I would say Elliott waves are so intriguing to me. They are. The ultimate king for me is Fibonacci extensions and Fibonacci retracements. But Elliott waves are fascinating, and you can see them work all the time. So, reading up on Elliott waves, and the problem with Elliott waves is there's so many different wave structures that pinpointing them live while they're happening is pretty hard to do. But they're fascinating to me, and I love watching people who are very good at it, and there's not very many that are good at it, and the people who even are really good at it still get it wrong sometimes. And I can understand that because it's so hard. But I would, spend time looking into Elliott waves and researching Elliott waves, applying Fibonacci's, and just really playing. It's experience, right? So, one of the reasons why, I've gotten into this, I spend so much time doing this. If I wasn't doing a YouTube channel, I'd still be sitting here playing with this. So it fascinates me. It's something that interests me, and it's like a hobby for me practically because I like to do it so much. So because I'm entrenched in it so much. So it's really just about putting in the hours and recognizing these things happening over and over and over again in different places. And it's just about putting in the time to apply these tools that you see on the screen and put them on charts and recognize repetition. JCR Central. Ever wish you had made a swing trade in May 2021 on alts like Bitcoin Cash Dash? You called Bitcoin top at the time, and those alts were pumping. Well, sure. Hindsight is 2020. Would have made, I guess it would have been nice to sell out the entire portfolio before it happened, right? But Who could have expected it would play out like that? But yeah, hindsight 2020, dude. Gunner with the super chat. Thanks for all your Irish fans. You're a legend, man. Thank you so much, Gunner. Philip, man, with the super chat. Oh, Philip, man, and I'm so late, guys. I'm like reading these things from 23 minutes ago. But I hope I'm not boring you. I'm sure some of you are like, well, this is nothing but a super chat. I'm trying to at least incorporate some information because some of you guys probably have these questions too. But Philip, man, his name is actually Philip, man. Thank you so much. My main man, BC Backer. Thanks for all you do, and I applaud your sobriety. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Philip, man. I truly, Army One with the Super Chat. We as a community would like to say thank you. You're a therapist, and it helps calm everyone. God bless. Oh, I'm glad, man. You know what, though, man? You guys all had my back this week. No doubt, man. I cannot tell you how good it made me feel this week to see all the comments on the tweets and on the videos. Man, it's one thing to just come on here and say, I'm grateful for my audience and blah, 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 blah. And now, man, that was awesome. I stepped out of my comfort zone and y'all were very, very supportive. Thank you. David C. BCB, thoughts on HBAR? Maybe a TA video. I don't do HBAR, so and I've answered this question before. It has nothing to do with the project itself or whether it's going to be anything. I don't own any HBAR. The thing I can't do for that is there's not enough history for me to go back and understand, is HBAR overvalued or is it undervalued? There's not enough history on the chart for me to be able to tell. Here, I will pull it up because I know a lot of people here do HBAR. Okay, so we go back to late 2019. I don't know where we are. I just don't know where we are. I know that the price of HBAR is already up massively, right? So since the bottom, so since in 2020, the price has risen 6,000%. Currently, it's up 2,000% since 2020. Since the late 2020 breakout, the current price is up 760%. But I've got nothing back here to be able to do any type of measurements from previous cycles. So I would have to be doing a complete guessing game on this. And since like I have nothing to like be able to like draw any type of rule for myself, the only thing I could do, and which because I don't even know if this is already a bubble or not, I don't know. Um, is just follow the same stuff, and like people, I asked about individual altcoins all the time. It's all coming back to this. The second this thing is done, and Bitcoin's gone back into a retracement. It's just about pulling plugs. Where that number lands for HBAR, I would just have absolutely no clue. So it's something I haven't touched. But I hope that helps, man, because I know you're not the only one wondering that. HBARs all the time. Neil, super chat. To exit position, would you transfer from ledger to exchange or hold on exchange and take profit, sell price? What's the best strategy? So yeah, that's a challenge in the market. I keep all my stuff in cold storage. And then you come to this point where like you're watching. All right, let's go ahead and send it to the exchange and put a stop order on it or a limit order on it. And then how long does it have to sit on that exchange, right? You kind of go in there with the plan that hopefully like that limit will get hit within a day or something, and then suddenly it's weeks, sometimes it's months, and it just doesn't end up getting hit yet. So and as you know, when it's on the exchange, it's when it's the most vulnerable. If you don't have really good 2FA on there and really good security practices going on. But the other problem too is that what we haven't experienced yet, but I do remember it from 2017, is how congested these exchanges can get. They can get really busy. But we didn't have the infrastructure of exchanges like we do now. We didn't have that in 2017, 2018. Binance, I do not even think Binance existed in the last bull run. I think they came out in the summer after the bull run is when Binance came around. So during the bull run, you had Coinbase, Bitfinex, Bittrex, Poloniex, And those are really the main ones. I'm sure there are more, but I'm in America. Those are the ones that I can think of. And I don't even think I could use Bitfinex at that time. I think you had to use a VPN to use it. I didn't even try. You had Kraken too. Um, but whether or not those exchanges get clogged at the last second, right? That would be the worst, right? You're like, oh, let me get it to the exchange, and the exchange is clogged. And sometimes they pull wallets for maintenance and stuff. So it's personal preference on what your risk tolerance is on leaving it for on the exchange as long as you want. So hope that answered, man. Thank you. Chris Perez, super chat. Thank you. Red Storm, super chat. Hey, thanks for awesome job that you do. What should the next Elliott wave look like? What are the rules for it? We'll have to see, man. I don't want to dive too deep into Elliott waves on this thing, man. So, typically the rule for an Elliott wave will at least draw out wave one. Uh, you know, we can have subwaves within an initial wave, but technically speaking, eventually wave one needs to come above the top of wave B or wave C within wave B, which I haven't drawn out here. Hold on. There's your ABC. Technically speaking, this, oh, sorry, got lost. Hold on. Technically speaking, wave one must come above the top of wave B. So this is our wave B, and let me get rid of that C so it's not confusing anybody in there. Get rid of all these subwaves in here. And that right there. That's the rule that we should have in order for that to happen. But we can have subwaves within wave one, but technically the entire wave needs to at least poke its head above right here for the total altcoin market cap. Then wave two can pull back to wherever it wants to pull back. There is no rule on how far down wave two can pull. Wave two can literally pull all the way down here that it wants. So no matter where it goes, it's in there somewhere. Wave three, the rule is it can't be the shortest wave. Everybody makes a mistake and says that wave three has to be the longest wave. It's totally incorrect. It's just it can't be the shortest wave. So if it comes out, if wave three ends up being shorter than wave one, then you can expect wave five to be even shorter than wave three. So hard to know. Then you'd expect some type of ABC pulling back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mean, it could technically just be that short, right? But we've done a bunch of measurements in that we know that Bitcoin, we know that Ethereum have reached out to 4.236 extensions. We have not gotten there, but I like that. That was a nice little drawing. But that's one way we could get to a 4.236 extension. Alternatively, we have done the math on what it would look like for Bitcoin and Ethereum to retrace the 702 Fibonacci retracements, and then at the exact same time, the Bitcoin and Ethereum's dominance falls down to 40%. And mathematically, if that happened, then the altcoin market would actually go up to 2.35 trillion. So I don't know yet, and I'm just going to have to wait and see how the market plays out until it does tell me what's going to happen. So I hope that answers, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who are curious about that. So thanks for asking. Back to Bitcoin. There we go. And again, thank you guys for coming out. I can't believe there's 3,800 people in here just having me answer questions and hanging out. You guys have been very supportive this week. It's been an insane week for me. I took yesterday off because I did that live stream on the chain on Sunday night. So it's like, and some people do know I go to bed early, man. I'm like a grandpa. I'm literally, dude, if I'm not in bed by 7:30, oh, it's a rough time. And that stream didn't start till nighttime, man. So started the week off like that, and then went into Monday and did 2 videos on Monday, and then BitBoy on Tuesday. So it's been a huge week, man. Thank you guys so much for being so kind. I mentioned it just not too long ago. The messages you guys all sent were so supportive. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so far behind on these things. How am I ever going to catch up? So I'm going to have to not deep dive into a lot of these questions that I've got. I'm going to have to be more quick on them. Well, we could be here for a long time. All right, let's go. So that was from Redstorm. Thank you. Hurricane AM super chatted. Thanks, BCB. Love your analysis. Any chance I can get in touch with you through email to discuss the possibility to bring you live on my channel? Um, you know, message on Twitter or tag on Twitter. That's the best way. Thank you. Silverpunk Skull. Thoughts on DeFi in general, market trends. So when DeFi all started, I went on. Oh boy, I'm gonna go on a rant if I do this. Let's step back from that. I'm not gonna go way down that rabbit hole. DeFi, we'll see. We're gonna see what regulations have to offer. The reality is, a lot of these percentages are so high. Why are the percentages being offered? Due to lending. What is lending being used for? To leverage more, crypto. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm always concerned about it. I'll tell you this. I have not participated in any of the DeFi aspects of this market because it concerns me. It worries me. I don't feel comfortable with it. So that's really just my take on it. And not to mention, there's obvious regulatory concerns surrounding that. So we'll see. It makes sense that we all deserve to have, interest for lending out our assets or our cash. And it's ridiculous that we don't get that currently in the banking system that we have, at least in the United States. So I fully support the idea of, 4, 5, 6% interest for lending assets. But is it really safe? I don't know. In crypto, I don't know. So we'll see. Shandoff the Gray. Thoughts on buying a first home now versus waiting a year or two? I know the stock market nearing 4.236. Does that translate to the housing market? I can't advise you on whether or not you're ready to buy a house. Do you have enough money to put a down payment on? If you lose your job, do you have like 2 to 3 years worth of payments to be able to continue making payments on your home? Those are just serious questions everybody's kind of got to ask themselves, right? So it's just, owning your own house is a difficult one. We all want to treat it like an investment. We all want to nail it. But, you have to realize owning a home is a horrible investment. And I think it's just a mathematics, well, not mathematics. It's like a mind game that people think it's a good investment. Because the reality is, if you go buy a house, right, what do you hope? You hope that you're going to make that your home is going to appreciate in value by 6% per year, right? 6 or 5 to 7% per year is what you hope that your home is going to appreciate by. Right now, we're in a unique circumstance where things are happening very quickly. So is like you're asking, do you think it was going to rubber band back? Maybe. But even if you want it to be 5 to 7% growth on average per year, well, if you're going to get a loan on the house and you're going to pay a 3 or 4% interest rate just on the loan, then you're already losing that appreciation that you're getting, right? The home's appreciating by 5 to 7%, but you're paying 3 to 4% interest. You're literally losing all the profits based on the interest of the loan. And then on top of that, you're having to pay property taxes with the house as well. And property taxes, depending on where you live, can be low, it can be like 0.25% or it can be up to 4%. And depending on that, you can get yourself right there at where your interest plus your taxes are in that 5 to 7% range. So you aren't actually making any profit on the home, even though you're building principal and equity within the home because of the taxes that you're having to pay for owning the home and the interest you're paying on the loan. So when I think of a house, man, it's all about just, am I financially prepared to be a homeowner? Can I handle this? And just staying within budget. But, I can't advise you on it, dude. But that's my thoughts. Quentin Underwood. Thank you very much. Quentin Underwood, thanks for all you do, BCB. Couldn't ask for a better representative for crypto. Well, thank you very much. Victorious G is super chat. BCB, my man. I've been with you since March of 2020. During the crazy times. Glad I found you, brother. Keep up the great work. Oh, March of 2020, when the altcoin market was valued at $50 billion. 50 billion. Crazy. Thank you. Ronan, Super chatted, man, Ronan McClohan, geez, thank you so much. Chris Perez, BCB, thank you for everything you do. Can you give us a macro perspective on silver? Do you think it could revisit all-time highs again soon? Right. So with precious metals, when people ask me about precious metals, dude, I have a super long time horizon on precious metals. I go into it with the idea, when I buy this bar of metal, I could be holding this thing for 20 years. It's really what I think about when I do it. So I'm literally just storing wealth. Um, Silver has been an annoying chart for a very long time, about a year and a half. I see it setting up similarly to where it just plummets itself down into the 16, 17, $18. And that's an area of interest for me where I'm scooping up more silver. I've been real hesitant in these 20s. These 20s make me uncomfortable. Hopefully it breaks up. But for me, my heavier accumulation is when it gets back into the teens, if it ever gets there. But you got to remember these metals, they are much slower moving than crypto or equities. So, but long term, I'm bullish on silver, but I just have no real way predicting time. You would have thought it would have gone into a massive explosion with all this inflation and the Wall Street bets and all that kind of stuff. You would have thought, but it did not. So, like all these banks getting fined for silver manipulation at some point, I have no idea if that's really true, if that's what's holding silver down or not. But we'll just see. Silver's a hard one right now. Ryan Byrne, super chat. Hey BCB, thanks for all you do. Your Bitcoin call is legend. BCH is one of the fascinating charts I've seen. Nowhere near its previous all-time high on this run. What do you think is happening with BCH? Same thing as most of the market. Just sat. And it's crazy with Bitcoin Cash because it is on PayPal and it's on Robinhood. The access to retail investors is sky high. So it's just doing exactly what 90% of the rest of the market is, waiting for an alt season. And that's what I'm waiting for on it too. I keep all my targets exactly the same as they've always been. But once all the conditions get met in the market, if the total altcoin market hits a 4.236 extension, if Bitcoin's back up in here at this time frame, then I might have to change my mind. But until then, I just sit back and wait for all the boats to rise together and see what happens. So we'll see. Leah Reed, super chat. Hey BCB, big fan. XRP weekly downtrend from all-time high. Not good for XRP unless it breaks. Could we go to 20 cents and even take years to get out of downtrend? So I answered this in a question on the chain this weekend. Somebody asked me, "Hey, you think it's possible to go to 20 cents?" Well, anything's possible, but you know, a structural break to 20 cents isn't good. So that if we go to 20 cents, I would lose expectations that XRP is going to do anything anytime soon. I would think it's going to be down there for a very long time, years, if we do something like that. So that's not something I would want to see. All right, thank you, Christian Finseth. Thank you so much, Garrett Deal. Super follower, watching channel for 2 years now, held strong through the lawsuit. Love your hair. I know you do. Yes, I did reveal that on the chain that I'm not bald, guys. Now the big question is whether or not I have eyebrows or if I even actually have eyes. Hmm. I know you don't look at coins with no historical data, but I've always really wondered what your thoughts about HBAR are. That's how far behind I am, guys. That just came through, and I've already done the HBAR thing like 15 minutes ago. So, Garrett, I hope I answered your question, brother. Thank you very much. Matt super chatted. Thanks for all you do. Shout out from a bunch of people in Louisiana. When this is all over, I'll cook a batch of jambalaya for you. Yeah, I think my wife would be happy about that. Get a nice crawfish boil going on. Throw some Louisiana on there. Throw some Tony Chachere's on there. Be a good time. I'm all down for that. And hey guys, I never remembered to do this, but this is the third time I've remembered to do that on this live stream. If you could please hit the like button, the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate that. If you're in the live chat, all you do is you hit the little X button, and then you go over and you hit the like, and then you come back to the live chat, and that's it. Thank you very much. All right. M Mark with the super chat. Thank you very much. BCB, thanks for everything you do. While you have the stream going, can you fib chart some alts like BCH and Litecoin? If everything goes like you're predicting, I'll have to buy you a beer. Cheers. Well, they're all the same, right? So if Bitcoin Cash, and this is going to sound ludicrous right now, but I'm still going to say it. If Bitcoin Cash does what several altcoins have done, and if it does what Bitcoin has done and Ethereum has done, and it's not ludicrous to think that these assets can't do it, it's merely measurements. It puts Bitcoin Cash in that $10,000 range. Litecoin, I believe, is somewhere between like the $800 to $1,200 range because Litecoin has creeped up a little higher than Bitcoin Cash has. But it's all the exact same stuff. It's all the same fib measurements, doing it the exact same way. You see how I do it on the Bitcoin charts, on the Litecoin charts, on the XRP charts? Just apply it all to everything, as long as it's got the historical data. And that's why I don't like tracking charts that did not exist in 2016, 17, and 18. When they became into existence in 2019, it's hard to know, do they really have, are they really valued appropriately to the rest of the market at least. Hard to know whether they're valued appropriately to their actual use case of whatever they're doing, but are they valued appropriately compared to the rest of the market? If we don't have the data to go back and look, it's hard to know. That's really the only reason I don't do anything with HBAR. But I can tell you, there's a lot of hype around HBAR. There's a lot of excitement around HBAR, and people I respect who research HBAR are like super hyped about it. And for me, during the next bear market, HBAR is probably something I will be accumulating. But until that time, I can't touch it because I don't know if it's overvalued or not. So that's kind of my thought. But thank you, Mark. And Mark, Ayesha Chandri, super chat. For those who didn't get a chance to buy, when should we buy? Wait for a pullback or now? I can't answer that question for you. It's up to you. Prices are down, prices are low, but can you stomach volatility? Right? That's what I was telling somebody yesterday. I was like, if you're going to buy into crypto, just be ready, man. You got to be able to handle 90% swings up and down. If you can't, then run away from this place. This is not for everybody. Noah FX super chatted. Litecoin exit plan still the same? Yep, nothing's changed. And I still hold every single one of them. Capson super chatted, man, thank you so much. And of course, you did this 34 minutes ago, and I'm like a dingus over here taking this long, so I've got to go through these things much faster. You're the man. You spoke recently on SiaCoin, but can you share your price target for it in this alt season? Right. So I'm not gonna go SiaCoin. Look, I'll just do the things that we always do, right? So if it follows what we've seen, what is typical behavior? It's a rally prior to capitulation. You guys have all seen this 100 times on this channel. There's your rally prior to capitulation dating back there in September, right? So if you're looking at that, the rally prior to capitulation, it's 13 cents. That would be the 65% exit if it followed that, right? Then additional things you can always do is you can do full Fibonacci extensions, right? So full Fibonacci extensions get you way higher. But we're all talking massive gains in here right now, right? But is it realistic and reasonable to say, hey, it's only going to go 121% higher than the previous high? That doesn't sound unreasonable to me. It doesn't sound unrealistic to me. Now, you may think that because look how much it's pulled back, right? It's pulled back 87%. But is that unusual? Is that unlike what has happened previously? No, that's exactly what it's done previously. In this entire massive bull run, it did that twice, right? 86% and 87%. So it's not unrealistic. And let me say this, I'm not out here telling everybody go buy a SiaCoin. I don't follow this coin very closely. I don't even know if there's any activity, significant activity going on this thing. But this is how I do the measurements for things. And then I say to myself, has this thing just broken away from anything it's ever done before? Nope. We saw in the last bull run, it did this exact same amount twice. So I hope that answered. Thank you very much. But all right, here we go. Make one video where you express your thoughts on corruption and other stuff. Your view of this time, especially with Bitcoin. Go. Yeah, I know my rants, man. I'm scared now. I'm all scared because, dude, what is going on with Twitter, man? They're hiding my stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on over there. People are like, you're telling the truth too much. But I want to tell the truth. I don't want to get interpreted as a conspiracy theorist because I'm not one. I always talk about you have to be four different things. You have to be 25% smart, 25% stupid, 25% conspiracy theorist, and 25% grounded in reality. Some people lean way too heavy on the stupid and conspiracy theory and do not lean hard enough on smart and grounded in reality. It's having to find the perfect blend of all of them. And I don't know if Twitter's labeling me as the conspiracy style because I'm not. I'm not. I don't think, dear goodness, I hope I'm not. you know, because sometimes you see it on Twitter all the time. People they follow these conspiracy theories and fully believe them, live in the world of that conspiracy theory like it is certainly truth. And I don't think I'm like that. I'm making guesses of the future. So we'll see. I don't know. I think I missed this one from Heather Ho. Heather Howe. I came into crypto at the end of March and am caught in the May top. Your videos kept me going through. Thank you. Awesome. Sean Dahl, Dindial, go. Thank you. Goo Gones BCB. Would you ever do Elliott Wave course or video? How to apply them? I'm considering it. Considering it. And let me say this, guys. I am going to have to go through these super chats a lot faster. I'm so far behind on them. I feel terrible, you guys. I am going to cruise through these really fast. Jasper, blockchain backer. Who is someone you look most up to? That's a good question. I will think about that. Let me think about that for a little while. That's a good question, right? All right. Sebastian, I have only started watching your channel since I saw you on BitBoy's live stream. I love your content and have been absorbing the last 2 weeks of videos. Oh, sweet. Cool. We got a new guy in the house. Big D, thank you very much. Big D, is Jesus your Lord and Savior? Jesus is. I am a man of God. All right, GB has super chatted. Thank you, BCB. I've learned a lot here. Thank you. Chris Lalim, did I miss one? No. Chris Lalim has super chatted. You're an inspiration. A question that I've seen from many of us. You talk about XRP holding above the July low is critical. What about the coins that broke below the July lows? Is this concerning? Thank you. So there's different structures that are happening with all of them. And if you missed the beginning of the video, you're probably going to have to go back and rewatch this thing later. But we talked about SiaCoin and the structures that they have. Every coin's kind of got their own little individual structure going on in there. For XRP's clear structure, that's just what looks clear to me. So holding that low is a typical crash, retrace, reaccumulation, breakout. With XRP, it did retrace to a 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, which we'll just do it really fast. Like here. So this is very clear to me. So long as this is all happening, the picture is real clear to me that this is very normal what's happening in here. If it breaks below here, the picture just gets very unclear. So at that point, it becomes harder for me to have conviction on what's actually happening right in here. But as long as this is all happening, very clear of what's going on in here. Meanwhile, you look at things like Ethereum Classic, they're very different structures in here, right? You can see that that's not how the retracement happened. You see this was not some big different retracement, right? So yes, it's set new lows, but it's very similar. This whole setup that's happening in here, this thing with this big fall right in here, very similar to what we've seen other altcoins do in periods like this, right? Big falls, and then they go. So with XRP, the discussion of holding that low pertains to, I understand this structure. This structure is normal. If it goes below here, I'm confused of what structure we're looking at. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I figure a lot of people probably have that question. So addressed it. Thank you very much. All right. Brandon Farmer, BCB, please have a look at XRP dominance. If you set a trend line, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I appreciate it. I can't pull that up right now because I've got to catch up to the rest of the chat, guys. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of requests in here. I am gonna have to move forward. I'm literally 39 minutes behind. If I donated to Super Chat, I'd be pretty frustrated that it took 39 minutes for someone to get back to me. So I'm gonna start moving through these things a little bit faster, guys. I sincerely appreciate it all. If I don't address what you ask, I'm so sorry. But I do want to respect the majority of people in here. And the fact that this thing literally says this is 40 minutes ago, I feel really bad. So I'm going to move quick, guys. John FX, can you tell a bit about what you've been coming by way of a new course of content, please? Will you dive more into wider financial markets after the bull run is confirmed? I have not finished any type of structure for a new course yet, so I don't know yet. But once it comes, it'll come. I haven't recorded anything yet, so it's not like it's right around the corner or anything like that, guys. But hopefully at some point. LTrain88K with the super chat. Thank you. E. Leland. Super chat. Do you have other channels? I have a coin roll hunting channel that I haven't done anything with in a year ago. Rapper Stacker. I haven't done that in a long time though. Coining 203. I missed you again, man. If you could type in the chat, I'll try to get you, dude, if you're still here. NG super chatted. BCB, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. You're the best. Thank you, NG. Forrest super chatted. You've helped me make smart decisions with your amazing information. Thank you so much, BC Backer. Well, thank you, Forrest. Mopovi, hey, Backer, I watched all your course. I loved it, but I'd like to dive deeper. Do you have literature and sources to recommend? Man, I just Google. I don't have anything particular that I have. I just do tons and tons of Googling. And I wish YouTube was better at help to find stuff, but I always find that I just do a lot of Googling. I'll pick a topic I want to expand on and then just go do a bunch of reading and different websites because a lot of them are going to be different. That's kind of the strategy that I do. Gareth Harwood. Hey, BCB, thanks for everything. If you were in all in altcoins right now, well, just I almost am, almost all in, over 90%. Would you take 15% loss now or HODL and hope? That's a personal choice. I don't know. I'm holding. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, but I'm holding. So I don't know. That's up to you, man. If you're overextended, and you've done too much. I mean, that's just everybody's got their own situation that they have right now. I'm a hodler. I've been through these types of things before. If somebody's only been in this market for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, this may be very, very difficult. It's unquestionably a difficult moment right now in this market. There's no question it's a difficult moment. But is it unlike anything we've ever seen before? No, we've seen these types of things many times. And getting through them is difficult, but eventually we do. So everybody's situation is unique. I fortunately have, I guess I can say this here now, 5 years of experience of going through this insanity. Insanity is the true definition of what this market is, and it is not for everyone at all. Everybody wants the 10,000% gains. Vast majority of people cannot stomach the 80% losses, 90% losses. So it's up to you. All right, moving along. Elroy with the super chat. Thank you. Ob Okagwal. Oh, geez, I slaughtered that. Thank you. What is your reason for not selling all your holdings and buying them back in the bear market at lower prices? Well, I'm still hoping my assets are going to go up. So I'm holding them, hoping they're going to go up. Also, I don't do a ton of day trading. I just don't want the tax nightmare of it. In addition, guys, it is now February, which means all that rotating I did from Bitcoin into altcoins in February of last year, all that's now in long-term capital gains status. So I don't have to pay as much taxes on that now. So multiple factors. Elroy, can you shout out to Leroy and Lenda? Hey, what's going on, Leroy and Lenda? It's a blockchain backer. Sean Stack with the super chat. You're the man, Stan. You had your eye on BCH over the summer, still watching it. Yep, for sure. For sure. Haven't sold any of my BCH. Got it all still. Hashi Mindset, Super Chat. What do you think about QNT? I do not follow QNT. I am sorry. Super Chat. Here we go. Bitcoin Cash, EOS, XRP have a structure pump retrace accumulation from 2018. Can you have a look, please? I look at them all the time. Yeah, I'm optimistic on all of them. I don't have to, I can't pull all of those up right now and go through that. And we've talked about this quite a bit already in this live stream. But yeah, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, no, that's pretty much the story of the whole market. So has Stellar Lumens, Litecoin, everything, 90%. So we're waiting for the whole market to move. PH Team Help, Super Chat, your humility and light of your skill is endearing. We appreciate you. Just know when we moon, you'll always be an integral part of our story. I appreciate it. But you know, when it's all over, everybody, if we make it through this thing, right? If we get to the promised land, guys, thank yourself. Just thank yourself, and you can watch YouTube videos all you want. You could say I had something to do with it, whatever. At the end of the day, you're the one pushing the buy and the sell button. You're the one making the decision to hold. You're the one making the decision to stomach through the scary times. This is just a teeny tiny bit when you turn on the YouTube video and watch it. Otherwise, all of it's you. You get 15, 20 minutes of me 4 or 5 times a week, 3 times a week sometimes. You got to go through the other 7 days, the other 24 hours, the other 23 hours and 40 minutes of the day on your own. So it's you. But thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are very kind to me. I mentioned that too many times already in this video, but I can't say it enough. You guys are very kind to me. Thank you. Eden Sedek, super chat. Thank you, BC Backer. You're a legend. Thank you, Eden. The Jake Foos Show. Are alts supposed to boom while Bitcoin retraces to 702 or after it hits to 702? Good question. While it's on its way to 702 is when those alts should be booming. If they're not, we got something different going on. That'll get me pretty uncomfortable and pretty nervous. But based on conditions we've seen historically in the market, as Bitcoin's getting back into this region, those alts should already be pumping, right? If they're not, it's going to be a concerning time period here for me. Very concerning. So it's definitely not after it hits it and then starts going, no. You know, and it's very possible, like in 2017, 2018, Bitcoin rose up to the 618 Fibonacci extension. It fell all the way back down. And it was in these phases in here where altcoin pumping was going on, where crazy altcoin pumping was going on. So it's possible we get up here, we get a very scary moment in here if the altcoins aren't pumping at that time. But it's definitely once Bitcoin gets in here, if it does get in here, based on what happened in 2018, alt should already be going. So Godspeed to you, the Jake Fu Show. Janny super chat update on BCH and EOS. Okay, we just talked about that. Thank you very much. Joshua Wolfel super chat. Would Elliott waves on Bitcoin be broken if it set a new all-time high? Would Elliott waves on Bitcoin be broken if it set a new all-time high? Could it still work? Thank you. Yeah. So, you know, you look at what Bitcoin's retracement in here has been, right? Bitcoin has not pulled back to any type of meaningful retracements to indicate something bullish is happening in here. You know, I think Bitcoin's situation is actually different from what's going on in the altcoin market, that this is likely wave 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the structure of the altcoin market is very different from this. So, I mean, in the end, what people are all cheering for, right? Let's be real here. People are cheering that there's a wave 5 that just comes up here, right? It's still, the result is this. That's the end result. But praying that they get some type of exit to all get out right here. I don't know. Maybe. I find it very unlikely. I stick very strict to everything that, you know, I talked about on my channel and what I talked about on BitBoy's channel, trying to explain my thought process on this. This is bear market. Anybody telling you otherwise, this is bear market, no question. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if some green candle just shows up and does something like that, it's wrong, right? It's wrong. But, we're just making hypotheticals right now. I do not think, complete sincerity, do not think it will go up there. All right. There you go. Thank you, Joshua. Joseph Black with the super chat. You relieve extreme stress for tens of thousands. Well, thank you. Guys, I just need to make an ASMR channel. Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, move on from that. Kalista Lim, sending love from Singapore. Would love to hear you on AVAX. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Kalista. I don't follow AVAX, so I don't want to come on here and just kind of just start charting one that I don't spend a lot of time living in there. Somebody asked me earlier, how can somebody new get better? You got to live and breathe within a chart. And figure out what are the typical reactionary levels within a chart. AVAX is one of the coins that went on to all-time highs, right? So anything that went blasting into all-time highs and went bubble-ish, at the time I was saying I'm scared of all those. Anything that has gone bubble-ish and gone into all-time highs makes me very nervous. I do believe AVAX was one of them. So yeah. Right, so you got a mix, right? So everybody's asking me about these altcoins that are still low that I'm in, right? So I'm all positioned in all the things that are all still really low, but then you have a big group of people who have all bought these assets that have gone onto these big bubbles, and they're falling in these bubbles right now. I'm not in any of those bubbles that are popping and falling. I'm in all the boring stuff at the bottoms, right? Which is what you see happen, right? It's why Ethereum Classic, you get the big move. It's why you get that in SHIB. It's why you get those big moves because of the accumulation in the boring time periods. And unfortunately, sometimes you get stuck in it for a long time. All right. But thank you very much. The bullish reset. Thank you so much for everything, BC. You helped me understand the market charts and keep emotions in check these past 2 years. I just want to say thank you for all you do. Much love. Thank you, the bullish reset. I appreciate that. Crypto Challenger 392 is super chatted. I've been watching you for quite a while now, and you're my voice of reason, so thanks. But what are your thoughts on Casino Coin? I've never liked the Casino Coin chart, so for me, it's something I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. it's just that. I don't touch it. Honest. I'm just being honest with you there, man. So it's up to anybody, but for me, it's not something I would feel comfortable with. And first of all, before I know there's a lot of people who invest in that, right? So don't take that as me fudding your project or fudding whatever you're doing. It's absolutely nothing like that. I'll explain. I'm not going to pull it up. Yeah, I have very serious problems with the chart. Very serious problems. Mosh Elbas went all-time highs for XRP. When moon, guys? Well, it should have been a while ago, but as Bitcoin and Ethereum were breaking out into the all-time high, we kind of got a poo-poo on our party. I don't have a time for you. I don't know. If we could do that, if we could predict it like that, we could all go buy lottery tickets and know which numbers are going to be picked. It's been a long, if you can't tell, it's been a long time that we've been waiting. Joseph Mooter super chatted in TA with fibs. What is the weight you would put on market cap extensions versus price extensions? Hard to know. So like if it was just market cap right now, I'd still be sitting there thinking to myself, man, there's a chance, right? There's still a chance that price. So like for Bitcoin, right? I'm assuming we're talking because of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Like if it had just only hit the 4.236 extension over there on the market cap chart, I'd be saying, okay, well, maybe, that's just a little fluke. It's still going to hit there on the price target, the price fib. which would be like 73,500. But we were at 69, right? So at this time, I'm like, look, you guys are chasing 4 or 5% if you're going after Bitcoin. But the thing was, the market didn't think that was true. The market didn't think they were chasing 4 to 5%. The market thought they were chasing to 100,000 to 200,000. They thought they were chasing 70, 80, 90%, not 3, 4, 5%. But this structure is overwhelmingly what a top looks like. Then what has all happened in here, right? This is all exactly what a bear market looks like. So, you could sit there and say it's just the market cap, but there's other elements on top of it that are also indicating bear too. So hard to know. It's a mix of a lot of things. And the funny thing is, you would ask most people in the past that if market cap charts don't matter, right? People are like, market caps don't matter because if I buy one asset of $1 trillion market cap and I spend $1 on it, suddenly I have $1 trillion market cap. And I get that, but these market cap charts are pretty silly. We watched the 4.236 extension based on the rally prior to capitulation get knocked back in May. I mean, in a market cap chart. It was pretty crazy. I'd say the market caps have been so interesting over the course of the last year and how much they've been doing stuff. Bro, you're a legend. I love you. Please watch the Barris Alicio video and then watch the 2013 XRP Fractal and tell me what you think. Somebody DM'd me saying he did some crazy bullish video though. I don't know. I'll take a peek. Somebody DM'd me very recently. Let me see. What DM did I get? When was it posted? No, I'm asking somebody who messaged 20 minutes ago, right? I don't know. I'll have to go see. I haven't seen it. Please cook on a live stream, Crypto Ghost. One day I will. Quick EOS analysis. Again, guys, I'm not going to dive into all the little coins. The EOS is at the lows, man. It's the exact same thing as the other 90% of the market. We are waiting on the whole market to move. Once the whole market moves, then there can be analysis on individual coins of what they're doing. But the reality is they're all stuck. Garrett Deal, but thank you, Joss. Garrett Deal, super chat. Any chance you could start a Telegram channel? Considering censorship by Twitter and YouTube or bugs on XRP channels, they couldn't even send super chat with Telegram spelled properly. Right. Yeah. So let me go through that again. Yeah, I'm dealing with problems over there on Twitter right now. I don't know why some of my tweets are getting hidden. It's pretty frustrating. There's this chance that it's that I'm posting too many threads. So I've been posting a lot of long-winded threads over the course of the last month, and sometimes you can get shadow banned if they think that you're doing spam threads. So I'm curious if it's actually just that I've been doing way too many threads and posting way too many tweets that the thing is like, hey, what is going on here? Rather than it actually being like censorship of what I'm actually doing. The only thing that's really changed on my channel in the last month is I've been posting a ridiculous amount of long-winded threads. Some of these threads have 25 tweets within the thread. So it's possible that's what's happening. I do not do Telegram. And I'm going to keep it that way, that I don't do Telegram. And the main reason why is the scammers. The scammers are so crazy out there. And the thing that they always do is they always reference people to text them on WhatsApp or to message them on Telegram. And I just don't want to have any association with Telegram due to that. So as long as everybody knows, I'm not even on Telegram. Don't be messaging these people who are trying to scam you on Telegram. I'm not on Telegram. So I've got to keep it that way. But I'm just going to, at this time, keep faith that things are going to get restored over there on Twitter and things will get sorted out for whatever reason that is. But I don't know what's going on. Nelson Choi, Dash and EOS targets, please. I know you got my back. Everybody wants targets. Watch the video that I put out that says exit plans for altcoins. It's my most viewed video. None of that has changed. The only thing that would change that, I've said this, I answered this probably 4 times. The only thing that would change that is if Bitcoin went back to its 702 retracement, altcoin market was pumping or not pumping, whatever. It's going to be about Bitcoin getting back up into the retracement levels, and then those things would change. Otherwise, nothing changes with anything I'm doing with any of my bags. So they all stay the same for my personal stuff. Camadio with a super chat. Will you announce your entry prices for Bitcoin and ETH and other crypto for this coming bear market? If so, when will you announce your entries? Man, during the bear market, every time I made big buys, I'd post it over there on Twitter. So, the thing about a bear market though is good luck buying the bottom. Good freaking luck. It's just wrecked city nonstop. You think you buy the low? Nope, 50% lower. You think you buy the low? Nope, 50% lower. And it's a long, painful process. So, but I did do that during the bear market, and not every time was perfect. But I'll do it. But it's a long ways away from me doing that type of stuff. So, JTD Clerk, super chat. Thank you, thank you, Carmadillo. And I'm catching up, guys. This is nice. I'm only 10 minutes behind now. JTD Clerk, super chat. Can you share your thoughts on VeChain? I do not follow VeChain, so I do not know. I can't remember if VeChain was one of those ones I had the same problem with like Encino Coin. Can't remember. I don't follow it though. I'm sorry. Steph from the, I guess that stands for blockchain. BCB, my FUD and FOMO dream catcher. You help us a lot to get through tough times. If Caro is listening from Crypto Heroes, shout out. Thanks, BCB. Best regards from Switzerland. Well, thank you. JR has super chatted. Quick question. How do you think rates increase will affect crypto? We haven't really seen any Fed tightening other than 2018. Man, this market is so spooked by rates right now. I don't know. I don't know. I really think this market is unbelievably scared right now of something, right? So, rightfully so. So this is something I was looking at on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? Where have we gotten back to, right? We've gotten back to a 702 retracement. It has struggled here. The thing is, typically in these situations, there's FOMO. If the market's going to turn over and collapse on itself, there's usually FOMO here. But here we are at these all-time highs, and everybody's terrified of these rates. And that, I don't know, man. And then now what? The market has priced in 7 rate hikes this year. So, hard to know. It's a guessing game, and I'm not a monetary policy expert by any means. But here we are. We've hit the 702 retracement. If there's another leg down in the Dow Jones, it starts from here, right? But as for rates, I don't know what's tightened in, what surprises happen. It's just a cluster, man, with all this rate stuff. Inflation sky high, right? And so I think a lot of people are confused why we have such huge inflation and everything's not going up. Markets are forward looking, right? Markets know things before they're going to happen. And that's what we saw in crypto last year. We knew this inflation would come. We were printing a ridiculous amount of money. Or I say last year, the year before, 2020. In 2020, we knew this was coming. We knew the inflation was going to get out of control. There was so much ridiculous money printing happening in 2020, but everybody was ignoring it like we didn't want to talk about it. It was not even brought up in the presidential elections. Neither side of them talked about it, inflation or the money printing. It just was a don't talk about that in the elections. But crypto, we all knew, dude, this is going to be bad. And then it came, right? So the market ran up. Bitcoin at least did, cryptos ran up. Now we're getting all the inflation and, we're not reacting to it, right? Because we knew it was coming. So the big question is more inflation coming? Is more inflation coming beyond what the expectations are? Or is the Fed going to hike these rates and stop it? That's the big question. Can they get a grip on it? So I think that's the big question right now, is the market's trying to determine, can the Fed stop the inflation? If they can, well, the inflation narrative's dead. If they can't stop it, if it's run away and if it's gone, I think that's the answer everybody's looking for right now, to forward look. We don't know the forward look right now on whether or not inflation is going to continue rampaging, or if it's peaking right now. And a lot of evidence points to its peaking. So we'll have to see. And I think everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen with the rate hikes, to see, does it have any impact inflation, or does inflation get worse? Has the train left the station? And so I don't know what the impact of rate hikes will do, or additional tightening. And I think most of the market's waiting on that to see what does happen. So, there you go. That's the best I could give you, JR. Thank you. Daniel Nunez super chatted. Thank you very much. Jason, thank you, Daniel. Jason C5783 super chatted. Have you looked at DAG? I have not looked at DAG. I think I saw it a while ago. I'm talking like 4 months ago, and it was up high. But no, I haven't. And guys, don't donate to get me to cover your stuff. And I want to get to chat. I want to read chat. And guys, I'm almost caught up with these things, man. I've only got a couple left. But Jason, I'll try to take a look at it over the next couple of days and get an understanding of it. You're not the first one to ask me about that. But thank you for the super chat. Daniel Nunes with the super chat. BCB, what are your thoughts on QTM? Seems similar as XRP. What are your thoughts? Right, so I don't follow QTM, but I've owned it in the past because, like everybody, pretty much buy every altcoin at some point throughout your career in crypto. But it was around in 2017. I think there was expectations that it would pump in this. I don't own any, right? I don't own any at all. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it does something, but to be completely transparent, I know nothing about it. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's an old OG. BCB, what are your thoughts on Algo? Algo's a struggle for me too. Algo's the same thing. It's one of those charts where we don't have much historical context dating back to previous bull runs. So is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? It's hard to know, right? How many people have already, FOMO'd into Algo? Does that mean we're too late, right? Is it too mainstream already? Are we too late? We're not early. I don't know. And again, I own some Algo. I mean, it's literally some. So we're talking like, little crumbs of my portfolio. But if Algo fired off to the moon, it would not financially impact my life. Okay, so that's how much I own, right? It would not significantly financially impact my life if Algo shot to the moon. And I say he's like fired 10,000%, it would still not significantly impact my life. So I don't know. I wish I followed it more. It's in my position, right? It's so hard to have the time to follow every project, to follow everything going on in DeFi, to follow everything going on in NFTs, and then to make enough time to make videos or to, further educate myself, to expand my own knowledge. There's just so little time, and to follow all the projects, it's really hard. And so, like, right, one of the next questions is, here's your legend thoughts on Digibyte, right? So I don't know. Let me go back. But I'm not sure, Ronnie. We'll see. I know there's a lot of people out there excited about it. JR, quick question. I already did that one, right? My bad. Oops. Yeah. Juan, BCB, you're the man. Wait, did you donated twice, didn't you, JR? Oh, JR, you did that twice, bro. Well, thank you. I hope I answered your question. 188, BCB, you're the man. Gusto Superdog, you're a legend. Thoughts on Digibyte? I don't know. I don't know. Full disclosure, I also own some Digibyte. But again, if it fired up 10,000%, it would not significantly financially impact my life. But I don't know much about it. It's another one of those ones that were around in 2017. D-Dog, super chat. FYI, if you want to learn oh boy. Okay. That's an advertisement. Elliott Ultros has super chatted. Hey, PCB, been a huge help for me the past couple years. What's your opinion on VeChain as a project overall and short-term charting, 5 to 6 months? So like I said, guys, don't donate for me to just cover different charts because I don't have time to be able to do that. I'm just barely catching up to everything live right now. I have problems with the VeChain chart. You know, go back to 2018. Take a look at the whole thing. It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't like charts that look like that. You'll understand why. If you don't know where to look that up on charts.cointrader.pro. Again, that's charts.cointrader.pro. Look at the historical charts of all time for Casino Coin, for VeChain, these coins that get pushed through the XRP community, like a lot of coins do. They get marketed to the XRP community. There's just things about them historically that make me uncomfortable. So I don't follow it closely. Doesn't mean it's a bad project. I think also for VeChain, the idea is for supply chains and be able to like scan barcodes and be able to see where their product came from. I can tell you customers do not care about that at all. If that's the use case, maybe it's not the use case, maybe I've got it wrong, but nobody cares about where their stuff comes from. And if you think that's not true, you know what the biggest things were about in the 2020 elections and in the 2016 elections about China stuff, things made in China did not matter. Amazon sales were through the roof for all those years, where 99.9% of things are made in China. Walmart sales through the roof. Everybody still buys everything they need from Walmart, and nobody flips it over and decides whether or not it's made in the USA or it's made in China or made in whatever. Nobody cares. We act like we care, but what we really care about is low prices. And so that may be controversial to a lot of people that I say that, but if you remember, I worked in supply chain for years. If people did care about it, there would be an impact to sales. There's been no impact to sales on where things are made as long as it is good prices. So I don't fully understand VeChain. I could be a complete dingus who's got it wrong. But based on everything I see when people show it on Twitter has been always about, scanning a barcode to see where it came from and the supply chain history of it. And I just don't think for end consumers there's an actual use case for that. So, all right. I hope that answered your question. And I try to answer these things honestly, man. I'm not going to come on here and sugarcoat it, Crypto Challenger Super Chat, thanks for answering my question about Casino Coin. If you had 5K to put in one crypto, what would you do? Oh, gosh. Nah, man, if I say something like that, you know what's going to happen. All y'all are going to go run over and grab whatever I say. Or at least a lot. Yeah. Nah, I'm going to avoid that one. I'm going to dodge it. Look, it just depends on what your time horizon is. And, if anything's priced and you like a project, man, where are we at right now? If this market is and it depends on your time horizon matters. And can you stomach, negative price action? Right? Why am I still in the Dow Jones? Who cares? All right. I don't know, but there's several things out there. There's several things out there that I'm very, very, very tempted to. Very tempted to. But thank you, Crypto Challenger. Daniela Bartoli, Super Chat, thanks for your work. I only listen to your content. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Daniela. AB, Super Chatted. I truly appreciate your work. Well, thank you, AB. Sam Ross, Super Chat. What about XLM? Are we late to XRP and XLM? It depends, man. What's your time horizon? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 1 day? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a decade? If it's a decade, you're probably not too late. If it's 5 years, you're probably not too late. If it's a couple of years, you're probably not too late. But if it's for this week, for the week ending February 13th, maybe it might be too late for the week. I don't know. It depends on your time horizon, man, and what your price expectations are, right? And how much volatility can you swallow? People always say, "Is it too late?" Right? XRP, there's OGs in here, right along here with me. XRP is up since the depths of the C19 sell-off, right? XRP is up 600%. That didn't come free, right? Right now, you ask the sentiment of the market, how's it doing? It's like, well, it's doing really crummy. Only up 614% in less than 2 years. It's doing really crummy because we compare it to how the rest of the market is doing. And look at the volatile swings that occur in there every time. 28%, 32%, 78%, 54%, 74%. And as we all know, this one right here did not even set a new low, but just the retracement range was negative 61%. So when you ask, is it too late? You just have to recognize, look at the chart you're dealing with. This is what we've all been dealing with, Do you have the patience to sit through all that? Right? If so, this took 2 years and it was insane volatility for the whole 2 years to get up 600%. So it's a personal question for everybody to answer themselves. I hope that was a good enough answer. And then Nick Fontaine with the super chat. What are your thoughts on Zilliqa? Love what you do. I don't know. Let's go back here. Hold on. Is this real life? Hold on. There's a chance that something has happened here. Yes. I don't know. I do not follow Zilliqa. Again, it's one of those coins I owned at one point throughout my crypto career. But I don't follow it anymore. It just reminds me of another altcoin, kind of like Hutum or Lisk or some other stuff I can categorize that with. Just stuff that's been around a long time, and whether or not there's really anything to it, I don't know. All right, here's a good one. All right. What do you think of Zcash? It's been up for some time now. The future is privacy. Would like your take on it? I cannot believe the privacy coins are not taking off yet. I am shocked by it. And why people don't get it. You just watch these dudes get caught with $3.6 billion in Bitcoin because it got tracked. Who is going to use that as money when everybody can monitor everything you're doing? It's crazy to me. We all pretend. I do not imagine crypto, and it's hard to believe that we're in 2022, real functioning, real crypto without having privacy involved in it. It's just mind-boggling to me. So you asked me about Zcash? Yeah, I still believe in Zcash. The use cases, I've mentioned, what my use cases of crypto are, and for the currency thing, Zcash, not Zcash, but privacy is so ridiculously important. So I'm bullish on the privacy sector. Problem is, I've been bullish on the privacy sector for a long time, and nothing's happened with that. But it makes no sense to me that it hasn't, because it should. It should. It makes no sense. There is zero chance we're all going to run around spending money that everybody can monitor. Remember when the IRS was going to be like, hey, if you spend at least whoever it was, if you spend at least $600 in a month, we get to spy on your bank accounts. Do you remember that big outrage that was just a couple of months ago? You spend $600 a month, we get to spy on your bank accounts. Remember how outraged people were, right? But okay, yeah, we're going to use something that is completely traceable and let everybody spy on us. No problem. No, there's zero chance that we use that as an actual currency in our everyday lives. Privacy is a requirement. So we'll see. So, all right. Hello, BCB. Casino Coin is now in the XRP ledger, so you're only judging the past charts on the old blockchain. It doesn't matter about the blockchain. It's still the same. Doesn't matter. Still feel the same way with 589. Thank you, Big Ted. But I stay true. BCB, when alts take off as expected, what are your plans with your gains to improve your life? Also, where'd you get your XRP snapback? So it's not a snapback, it's fitted. I do get them fitted, and then I get them, etched, sketched, or stitched. What are you, stitched? I think is the word, stitched. At your local hat shop. As for improving my life, yeah, I haven't decided yet. I think everybody wants to know the answer of like, once the bubble pops, what am I supposed to do? Right? I don't want to get in cash because of inflation. What do I need to buy? What asset? Do I buy gold and silver? Do I buy, treasury bonds? What do I buy? I think for me, it's going to be just about just getting cash and putting it in the banking account, crossing my fingers that they don't steal everything out of my bank account, and sitting back. So for me, for improving my life, it doesn't mean that I need anything. I don't physically need anything. I don't materialistically need anything. I drive a 9-year-old car. 9-year-old. I'm fine with that. Every time I go on Auto Trader and I start looking at new vehicles and looking at new trucks and stuff, I literally say to myself every single time, my kids would be so mad at me if I got rid of my vehicle because they love my vehicle, even though it's 9 years old. And the diminished returns on the happiness that I would actually enjoy by getting the new vehicle would not be that great. It'd be awesome to have something new. But in the end, it's not really going to drastically improve my life. So when I think of, plans to improve my life, I think it's just about having even more time. Over the course of the last 8 years, I've spent a lot of time trying to improve my life to just really kind of make myself happy and really just trying to kind of take more control of my time. So I've been self-employed since 2014. So I used to live, prior to being the blockchain backer, I was living the 4-hour work week. Like you read in the book, like literally working 4 hours a week. It was no problem. It was chill. And then blockchain backer became almost a full-time gig. But it's because I enjoyed doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. If it wasn't like a hobby, if it wasn't fun for me, I wouldn't even do it. So as for improving my life, I think it's just about the comfort of having a bank account, the comfort of knowing if the world goes into financial hard times, my family doesn't have to worry. I think that's really it. All right. I hope that answers your question. And the hats, I just go to the local, I get fitted hats, go to the local hat shop, have them stitch it in. So from a tech, okay, here we go. But thank you, Alexander. Arvind Raveshankar, sorry about that. From a technical perspective, do you believe coins like Dash, Zcash, and Monero ever hit all-time high again? The last time that happened was in 2017, 2018. Absolutely, why not? Right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, plenty of coins hit their all-time high. From a technical nature, it would all make perfect sense for them to do it. So I don't have any reason to believe that they would not. And I also think that's like one of the strongest use cases in crypto from a currency perspective. It makes so much sense to me. All right, Verano Avila, but thank you, Arvind. Verano Avila, super chat, thank you. Ellie Botros, appreciate response, appreciate you, man. Hope it's all well with you and your family. Enjoy your weekend, BCB, and everyone else. Thank you, Ellie. Sunny Patel, hi, BCB, with the channel since inception, held since 2017. What do you think? This is the year it reaches at least its previous all-time high? Thanks for all you do. Greatly appreciated. Thanks, Sunny. Again, this is kind of one of those when moon questions, phrased very nicely and elegantly, but kind of a when moon. I don't know. Here's the thing. It should. If everything that we see on the charts is true, and if history repeats, it should. This structural setup is normal for something, even in this case, right? Let's pretend we only 4.236 extension this thing right here, right? Where does that get you? It definitely gets you in the all-time highs. It gets you to about $7. But even in these structures, you look something along the lines of this, right? I mean, that gets you out to mid-year in something along those lines. And then if Bitcoin is doing an ABC retracement back to a 702, We've looked at fractals on that. That does at least at some point in 2022 do that. So if the question, but here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. We've been thinking that for a long time, right? We thought we were going to get it right here in 2020 because we were breaking up. Bitcoin was breaking out into a new all-time high at that time. Then the SEC squashed us. So time predictions are just impossible. But the thing that we know is that XRP has only taken off during altcoin seasons. So people are always like, why are we spending so much time talking about Bitcoin, right? Well, we have to find, is there a structural setup in Bitcoin that is favorable for an alt season? If it's favorable for an alt season, then by default, that's favorable for XRP because XRP is only taken off into alt seasons. So what conditions do we look for in Bitcoin? Some type of ABC correction getting you back into a 702 Fibonacci retracement to give us a similar condition of what happened when the top of Bitcoin came in last time. So when I imagine this, could this take all year long? I guess it could. We showed the fractals of how that can take quite a long time to play out. We talked about the grueling and slow process. But I don't have a way to accurately predict time. So when moon, I hope so. I hope so. Please. Please. Please this year. All right. Ming Zhang, super chat. Just want to show support to the next super chat you go. Oh, Ming. Thank you. Thank you. Genos, the super chat. And Liam Curl. Hey, BCB, do you attach any particular probability going over the $10 to $13 range? What are the chances of something like that? No way. There's no quantitative measurement tool that we could actually use to give a true statistical probability, right? So the only thing we can give is theoretical biased probabilities of what we think to ourselves, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to put a number on it. I really don't. The only, so I mean, 4.236 extension, right? $10 to $13, right? Here you go. This is the areas, right? And we both know from Ethereum and Bitcoin, these are the areas they got into. They didn't even quite get to the 4.236 extension on their USD charts, right? I went ahead and ran the math on the market cap chart of XRP. So let's pretend that XRP is not going to follow hitting a 4.236 extension on its USD chart, but it's going to follow it over there on the market cap chart. Because somebody even asked earlier in the stream, hey, what do you think, man? Are these market cap charts more important now? If XRP did exactly what Ethereum did and what Bitcoin did, where they go on to a 4.236 extension on their market caps, on XRP's market cap, it's still exactly the same. It's at $10 to $13. I believe it's like $12.91 or something like that. So we still get out there, right? So to say it's going to break beyond there means we've got to deviate away from also what Bitcoin did and from what Ethereum did. And it's hard for me to attach any statistical probability of the odds of that occurring. So I don't know. I don't have a number to give you. Sure would like it because I'm only selling 65% of my XRP as we make our way up here. And I will still hold 35%, hoping for an overshoot of insanity. But I don't know the probabilities or the odds. So I hope that answers your question, even though I didn't answer your question. But I hope I answered it somewhat. Verano, super chatted, do you think the 2026 World Cup can prompt inflation to run away? Am I missing something? Should I know something about that? I don't know. Don't know. I don't know. But thank you, Verano. And thank you, Liam. Thomas Carwood with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Chris Tarwick with super chat. Do you think XRP will hit 3 digits in the next 10 to 20 years if it will ever reach that high? I mean, so first of all, XRP is 81 cents right now. And are we going to go to over $100? All right, so remember I've got the 25% of me is smart, 25% of me is stupid, 25% of me is conspiracy theorist, and 25% of me is grounded in reality. When I match all those things up together and I try to say, can I get that high? Look, from a measurement perspective, based on what Bitcoin did in the last bull run, I just would find it hard to believe. Like, let's say you did what Bitcoin did in 2017, it would get you to $55. Very hard, and run the market caps on what that is, right? That there alone, that's like a $2.5 trillion market cap for XRP. When the current market cap of all of crypto is $2 trillion right now, a $55 XRP is like a $2.5 trillion market cap for XRP alone. So the grounded in reality part of me says that seems improbable, seems unlikely, unless if the whole market cap does shoot up to some crazy number. And we also know that XRP has only taken off during alt seasons. It's never swallowed the whole market on its own before. So I don't see it. I don't see it. Over 100. I don't. And 10 to 20 years is so hard to predict, right? I mean, we're talking doubling the length of time of how long crypto has even been around and been in existence. So totally theoretical, totally hypothetical. And we don't know what the landscape of the world will even be like at that time. Are we in a Great Depression at that time, right? Has the stock market fallen 80%? Are we all eating, the squirrels in the backyard? I don't know. I don't know. So, it's hard to say. I don't know. All right, but thank you, Chris. I hope I'm not in that camp. I'm not in the triple digit thing. I'm just not. I'm in the double digits though, and that should be good enough, right? I'm a double digit believer, but not a triple digit. All right, Brandon Valentino. Appreciate all you do, BCB. Quick question. What are your thoughts on the chart for Electroneum? I don't follow it. I don't follow it. I don't know. But if it's gone back, if it dates back to 2017, and if I thought about it and I thought it really had a serious probability of doing well, I would be doing my normal measurement stuff that I do on everything. Rally prior to capitulation back in 2018, 4.236 extensions, all that stuff. But oh boy, I'm at 2 hours, guys. We just crossed the 2 hour mark, and guess what? I'm all caught up on this thing. And surprisingly, over 3,000 of you guys still hung out in here to hang out. I appreciate it. It's insane. I'm tired now. I'm tired. 11:30 is what should finish this up. Use inverse charts a lot. What about inverse fib retracement to track support and resistance in the inverse? All right, let's see. You use inverse charts a lot. What about inverse fib retrace to track support and resistance in the inverse? Thanks for everything you. I'm kind of confused by your question, which I probably confuse 90% of my audience when I'm talking about inverse charts. But fibs go both ways, right? So, technically, all I would have to do, let's get this off log, throw a midpoint in here, and then there's your 702 to the opposite direction, right? All right. Not quite sure. Thank you, Brandon. Geno's, no squirrels in my backyard, only paddy melons. I don't know what that is. Alexander, what trading platforms do you use for XRP, EOS, Ethereum Classic, or etc. for US? Also, I believe your BitBoy video added incredible value to their camp. Keep up the great work. Well, awesome, man. I hope so. And he said nice things about it too. That made me feel good too. Oh, geez, what have I done to this chart? Oh yeah, this is where everybody wants to go, right? The promised land. Not today. There we go. what trading platforms do you use in the US? So that's up to you. You need to decide what you're comfortable with using, right? I believe the ones that are available to US residents, which you need to check if they're okay for you to use, I don't know, would be like KuCoin or BitTrue and Uphold. But thank you, Alexander. Sauce Hawk, you use infrastructure. Oh, yeah, I already got that one. Arjun with the super chat. Thank you very much. And Dino Nam with the super chat. Hello, Sensei. Can you check BCH, please? Guys, rewatch the video. It's all this, it's, for BCH and for EOS or Dash or Zcash, it's the same story. And so I notice a lot of people don't watch the videos when I do talk about those because I get them all the time. It's the same story. This is the market. If you own 10 cryptocurrencies, 10, likely 8 of them are all doing the exact same thing. And that is that they are all sitting sad. And the thing that you're waiting for is for the whole boat to move up together. And that's what we're waiting on for the altcoin market. So that's what I'm waiting on. If you own Stellar Lumens, if you own IOTA, if you own, what else are there? I think somebody even asked about XEM. If you own Cardano, you're waiting on all the same stuff. If you own Tron, right? TRX, you're waiting on all the same stuff because all these things. I think what people asked about Qtum, people asked about Electronium, because they're all doing the same thing. And that's what they're waiting on the whole market to move up. So that's the main focus right now. Bitcoin do. When does this 4-year cycle end? Shouldn't we have passed it by now? Exactly. For Bitcoin, for sure. The 4-year cycle for Bitcoin has been hit. And not only that, it hit a 4.236 extension at 4 years, for sure. The thing is, when Bitcoin popped in the 4 years in 2017 and 2018, it was into its retracement that the altcoin market took off. And we haven't had the retracement yet, so it's still a waiting game. But as for 4-year cycles for Bitcoin, absolutely, 4 years has come and 4 years has gone. Faux show. AM super chatted, longtime fan and follower, first time super chat. Well, thank you. Just want to say thanks for your integrity and knowledge. God bless you and your family. Thank you very much, AM. Thank you all so much. I am pooped. I'm whooped. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. I made it 2 hours. I really thought I would only do an hour max. But here I am. I'm like pooped out. But it's Friday afternoon. I'm going to go out for lunch. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy some meat. I'm going to cook some meat in the backyard. Because, like, I didn't tell you all, guys, I'm like on this diet thing, man. It stinks. Like, it's not that it stinks, man, because I'm pretty into fitness right now, and I've been eating clean for about 6 months, but like now I'm like super clean, and like, I would be okay with 2 or 3 cheat meals a week, and we're, talking pasta, burgers, whatever, and right now it's like I'm limited to once per week, and so I miss fettuccine Alfredo, dude. Cheeseburgers. French fries. So I gotta go buy some meat, man. I'm gonna cook some meat for lunch, and then make some meat for dinner. My daughter's going to her grandparents tonight, so we'll still have my son tonight, but he goes to bed at like 7 o'clock. So me and my wife will get to hang out, chill, more barbecuing, and hang out. So that's kind of what I got going on today. And then, dang it, Coining, are you still here, man? If I can remember to click on you, type in here, bro. Hopefully I get you. And then we'll call it a weekend, man. Expect the cryptocurrency market to pull back. I do expect it. But I think things look okay. And the thing I'm real happy to see is that Bitcoin has completed that fractal. It's pulled back into this normal stuff. We're just waiting on a retrace. And the most optimistic thing is especially this total altcoin market cap Elliott wave count back to a 702 Fibonacci retracement. This This makes me happy. This thing makes me really happy. And we've done all the wave counts. I'm not going to put all the waves on here again. So, Coining, I don't see you in here, man. I must have lost you, bro. You couldn't make it 2 hours. I hear that. But all right. Brandon Valentino with the super chat. And then coming in hot again. Thanks for answering my question. Learning a lot from your course. You've given a whole new perspective of TA markets. Wish you and your family well. Thank you very much. So this weekend, I'm chilling. I'm going to be grilling. I'll probably post it over there on Twitter if Twitter will let my stuff show. Trying to get myself out of the doghouse on Twitter. I didn't do anything, man. Cooking bacon and eggs, Genos. Thank you, man. In Australia. But on that note, yeah, I'll wrap it up. If you're looking for something to do on the weekend, you guys always know there's BC Backer available for you, bcbacker.com. Otherwise, let's do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I want to thank you all for coming out to the chat. I want to thank you for all the support you've given me all week long. I want to thank you for all the kind things that you said, how active you've been in here, all these nice, super chats, all the nice things you've said in the chat, and the unbelievable support you've shown me. As a content creator, we always go through our ups, we go through our downs, we go through our slumps, we go through our goods and our bads and everything in between. And nothing rejuvenates a human more than seeing an overwhelming supportive audience. And that's weird to say because it's very weird that I'm even in this position that I'm in right now, that I have this channel and that all these people watch me. There's even 2,500 people in here right now listening to me ramble after 2 hours. It's very weird. 3 years ago, I was living a very normal life where this was not in my life at all. And then now it's here. But I can tell you with certainty to see the overwhelming support means a lot. And thank you. Appreciate it very much. But all right. On that note, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. AC 1023 Bengals. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back.